$11 billion. That is more than the GDP of 50 countries combined. It comes from 1 month of football, and FIFA collects nearly 80% of it, $8.9 billion, while the cities that host the games face a $250 million shortfall. Taxpayers foot the bill for FIFA's profit. This is not a scandal. It is a business model, a machine engineered so perfectly that it wins by every measure. Revenue records, global reach, political power. And that is what makes it unsettling. How does an organization that never kicks a ball, never builds a stadium, never sells a single ticket to a fan, how does it turn 30 days into an $11 billion empire? The answer is not what you expect. It is not corruption. It is not luck. It is a playbook written decades ago by a man who saw football not as a sport, but as a product that could be owned, controlled, monetized. This is the story of how FIFA built the money machine, and how the exact trait that made it unstoppable, its hunger for control, became the flaw that left cities holding the bill. You're watching the World Cup final. The stadium is packed, the tension is electric. But the real game isn't on the pitch, it's in the boardroom, because before a single ball is kicked, FIFA has already won. Broadcast rights alone bring in $4.26 billion. That's 39% of the entire $11 billion pie. And that money arrives years before the tournament even starts. Networks bid for the privilege of showing 64 matches. They pay up front. They take the risk. FIFA collects. The stadiums rise like cathedrals of glass and steel. But who writes the check? Not FIFA. The host cities do. They build the infrastructure, upgrade the airports, expand the transit lines. They shoulder the debt. The cities, they're left with a collective shortfall of $250 million. That's the taxpayer's burden for FIFA's profits. Consider the math. FIFA sells the broadcasting rights for a fortune. It signs sponsors for another. It controls the ticket sales, the hospitality packages, the licensing. The host cities get the prestige and the bill. They spend billions on stadiums that may sit empty after the tournament. They absorb security costs, traffic management, cleanup, yet they have no share in the broadcasting or sponsorship revenue. They are the stage, not the star. The arrangement is simple. FIFA takes the upside, the cities take the risk. And the risk is real. The pattern repeats. But the cities keep bidding. Why? Because the promise of global attention is intoxicating. The catch? It's a promise that comes with a price tag, and the price tag is theirs alone. What's the catch that leaves taxpayers holding a $250 million shortfall? Subscribe to decode the hidden economics of global sports. Every 4 years, a handful of brands buy the right to own the World Cup's most valuable real estate, your attention. They don't just slap logos on billboards. They pay for exclusivity. The right to be the only beer, the only credit card, the only car in the stadium. That scarcity is the engine. FIFA collects $2.85 billion from marketing and sponsorships alone, 22% of total revenue. But the real cost is invisible. To activate that sponsorship, to turn a logo into a memory, a brand spends 3 to 5 times the fee on ads, events, and hospitality. They flood your screen, your feed, your city streets. The goal is not to sell you a product during the match. It's to make you feel that the World Cup itself belongs to them. That every goal, every tear, every triumph is somehow theirs to share. And it works. Fans wear the sponsor's jersey, drink the sponsor's soda, argue over the sponsor's player ratings. The brand becomes the backdrop of a global emotion. But the deal has a hidden clause. FIFA demands total control over the stadium, the broadcast, even the airspace. Host cities surrender their own signage, their own local ads, their own identity. The sponsor's logo is inescapable. But what's the secret deal that makes their logos inescapable? What's the one asset FIFA sells that no other sport can? It's not a ticket, it's not a broadcast slot, it's the world's attention. All of it at the same time. No other event pulls this off. The Olympics scatter across dozens of sports, diluting the gaze. The Super Bowl is a single nation's party. But the World Cup, for 1 month, the planet stops. Factories in Bangkok pause. Cafes in Buenos Aires empty. A village in Senegal gathers around a single flickering screen. FIFA doesn't sell football. It sells the moment when 8 billion people look in the same direction. That's why broadcasters pay a fortune. That's why brands line up. They're not buying ad space, they're buying a monopoly on global unity, a captive audience that no algorithm can replicate. The World Cup is the last live event that still commands the world's full attention. But here's the twist. FIFA doesn't own the passion. It only licenses the stage. The real asset, the shared heartbeat of humanity, belongs to the fans. And FIFA knows that if it squeezes too hard, that unity can turn. How does FIFA weaponize this to charge premium prices? That's more than the GDP of 50 countries combined. Yet the players, the ones who actually run, sweat, and risk career-ending injuries, see almost none of it. The prize pool is a fraction of the total. The real money flows elsewhere. Broadcasting rights alone bring in $4.26 billion. That's 39% of the entire revenue. Sponsors add another $2.85 billion. But the host cities, they face a collective shortfall of $250 million. Taxpayers foot the bill for stadiums, security, and infrastructure, while FIFA pockets the profit. So where does the money go? Into FIFA's reserves, into executive bonuses, into a bureaucracy that operates like a tax-exempt corporation. The organization doesn't pay income tax on its World Cup earnings. It's structured as a non-profit, yet it hoards billions. The players get a bonus for winning, but the real payout goes to the suits in Zurich. The contradiction is stark. FIFA sells the dream of football, but the dream has a price tag. Host cities go into debt, fans pay inflated ticket prices, and the players, they're the product, not the shareholders. What's the hidden cost of FIFA's financial dominance? The machine runs on exclusivity, but exclusivity has a price, and this time, someone else is paying it. Host cities face a collective shortfall of $250 million, taxpayers' burden for FIFA's profits. The stadiums rise, the roads widen, the security bill climbs, yet the revenue flows to Zurich, not to the neighborhoods that absorbed the disruption. Therefore, the cracks are showing. Cities are starting to ask, what do we actually get back? A month of tourism, a legacy of white elephants, and a bill that outlasts the final whistle. The model works only as long as governments keep subsidizing the spectacle. But if one major host says no, if the political cost of hosting outweighs the prestige, the entire structure wobbles. Meanwhile, the game itself is changing. Players earn more, leagues grow richer, and the talent pool spreads. FIFA's monopoly on the world's most popular sport depends on keeping everyone inside the same tent. Yet the tent is getting crowded. More teams, more matches, more fatigue. The product risks dilution. Decades of scandal have left a stain that no sponsorship can scrub. Trust erodes slowly. Then, all at once, FIFA doesn't sell a single ticket. How? It sells the right to watch. Broadcasting rights alone bring in $4.26 billion, 39% of the entire pie. Sponsorships add another $2.85 billion, 22%. The product isn't the match, it's the global audience. FIFA controls the scarcity of that audience, and that scarcity is worth more than the GDP of 50 countries combined. But here's the trap. The same structure that built the empire also plants the seed of its destruction. Host cities shoulder the costs, infrastructure, security, stadiums, while FIFA walks away with the billions. The 11 US host cities face a collective shortfall of $250 million. That's the taxpayers' burden for FIFA's profits. The hubris is baked in. FIFA demands total control, then leaves the bill to others. The point of no return comes when the host cities realize they're not partners, they're customers. The lesson is brutal. When you own the bottleneck, you own the value. But if you squeeze too hard, the bottleneck breaks. FIFA's monopoly on the world's game is ironclad until the cities that pay the price start asking why they're paying at all. Next time we crack open the hidden monopoly that makes every airline ticket cost more than it should, and the one company that owns the pricing algorithm. The monopoly matrix, where the numbers tell the story.